morning. It's Tuesday, October 17th. There is a lot to discuss, a lot of data to discuss, a lot of potential trade ideas to go through until we figure out what the top 1 and 5 picks are going to be for the day. You can see some of these right here. We'll get to these, all right? You see your stock on the list? We'll get to them. Even Geo's there, all right? But let's first look at the macro. There's some concerning action, some concerning price action this morning, which is not good for the market. TLT right now crashing into the open, 84.85. All right, you know this drill already. Bonds down, rates up, stocks down, especially IWM, KRE, and RK. But the real key is, do we go below? Do we set a new low on TLT, or is the bottom in? If the bottom's in, maybe you can have some stability. Maybe supports can hold on those indices we just talked about. But if the bottom is not in, then the bottom is going to fall out of KRE, IWM, and ARK. You can see the intraday low on TLT was 84.09, 84.06. We're at 84.80. But also the closing low, 84.79. That's a key also. Like, even if we don't get to 84.06 today, but it looks like we're going to be closing below 84.79, we're at 84.76 now. If that happens, then we're back to like kind of crash mode on KRE and IWM. You know, where were we here? We're below 40 on KRE when bonds hit those lows. IWM, wow, it's hell, but I'm surprised actually this chart looks decent, holding this 170. But we could get below this 160s, 169 lows if TLT closes at a new low. Look at that, not looking good on TLT. Okay, it's also impacting SPY and QQQ. So today, I think now you got bond worry, and of course, you always have the war worries. A little bit, I'm not sure what to make of that, but look at this. Gold and VIX are up. I think this VIX move has more to do right now with the TLT, this big move in TLT. I don't know what's sparking it. Haven't listened to financial news in the last hour at all. I've just been looking at the news feed here on my stocks. But definitely a concerning price action, concerning day. And this is a day where you're going to want to have, I think, TLT, gold, and VIX, and maybe even oil as a proxy for like global, instability in case some of this is war related. But you really want to have TLT, gold, VIX as kind of barometers for how the day is going. Okay. All right. So now let's go to the individual stocks and see if we can come up with some good plays for today. Now, this is not in any particular order at all yet. All right. We're going to order it at the end of the show. Lockheed Martin reported it was a slight beat, but they didn't raise. Slight beat, didn't raise, but they did increase their buyback by, I think, $6 billion. Now, Lockheed, I think the common logic, the temptation is buy any dip, especially since they didn't miss, right? If you're at least in line, buy the dip because of the Israel instability. And however, I'm just going to warn that last time on earnings day, you can see this big July 18th. July 18th, they actually had a fairly big beat and raise. And the thing crashed like 6%. It opened up and it crashed 6%. And it's been down ever since, okay, until the Israel war. So I don't know why that happened. I didn't research it. The answer is not obvious. It could be that whisper numbers were higher. It could be about domestic politics, and maybe some concern over Democrats and Republicans getting together to pass, more bills in favor of defense spending, or worry about the deficit. Do we even have the money? I don't know why. So, like, again, my initial instinct is, oh my God, buy any dip, especially since we didn't miss. But I'm not sure if this will be the top pick because of the behavior last quarter. Okay. And then we go to Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree gets a nice upgrade from Goldman Sachs, from neutral to buy, but they actually reduced their price target from 150 to 137. So 137 is the target, upgraded from neutral to buy. How does that happen? That can only happen if the stock crashed recently, right? How do you upgrade it but reduce the price? And it did, right? So it crashed from 138 down to here. It's above the 20 DMA. All right, if the markets were stable, this would definitely be a top, definitely top 5, maybe even the top pick or the top 2 or 3 pick. because we also have the technicals in our favor. We recently broke the 20 DMA, held the 20 DMA, and the 50 DMA is over at 120. Okay, a little bit of resistance at 114, and then 120. So if I felt really good about, that markets are stable or we didn't have a war or something, then Dollar Tree would be up there right at number 1 or 2. But I don't know where it's going to be because we'll see where we come at 9:15. Okay, so we'll come back to Dollar Tree. CyberArk. Now this one's interesting. CyberArk. This is actually an Israeli cyber security company that you can see the day after the war broke out. It spiked down, but it immediately came right back and held its gains as if nothing happened. So that shows you right there. Very strong company. Operations probably not being impacted at all. Software company. And then this morning, they get an upgrade from neutral to overweight by JP Morgan. Neutral to overweight with a price target of 200 from 182. That's a ways up there. This is interesting. Cyber is interesting. I like this one. This is going to make the top 5 because also it's a cybersecurity angle. There's been a lot of cyber attacks. If you guys said there's so much in the news about this war, people may not realize that some Israeli websites and news websites were completely offline for a couple days. And obviously, unfortunately, if this spills into a more regional conflict, let's hope that doesn't happen. But there could be cyber attacks all over the world. So CYBR, interesting. All right. ExxonMobil gets an upgrade. $140 price target. Initiation to outperform. $140 price target. But I will say, looking at this price action so far, it's moving with USO. It's moving with USO pretty much, tick for tick. All right. So that also makes me a little less excited about, Exxon as a number 1 pick or even a top 5 pick because it's just moving with USO today. And we don't see any particular strong catalyst for USO this morning. And also price action, not great yet this morning. All right. Tesla has earnings tomorrow after the close. Yesterday, you could see in the middle of the day some FOMO ahead of the earnings tomorrow after the close. Can that happen again? Will people start buying the dips again? Maybe. The question is at what point will they do that? But to me, also a stock like this is scary on a day where maybe everything just crashed. Right? I don't know. Personally, I'm like, I just want to be far away from any quote unquote regular stock, that isn't special situation or war related. So overstock, I want to mention, activists came in. An activist yesterday in the middle of the day, JAT Capital Management reported a 9.1% stake. I guess they also bought some to reach that 9.1% stake. And I guess there was some letter sent that they want some changes with the board and different things like that to unlock value. You get this big move. And then let me just go over the technicals. It broke the 20 DMA. Guess what? It broke the 20 DMA. Wow, let me do something fun here. We are going to remove the 50 and the 200, just so you can see this more clearly. If you remove the 50 and the 200, I'm going to get out, go back in, get rid of that. Okay, now look at this. All right. You see what I see? You see this? I mean, look, this is, again, another day where I'm just scared of the overall market with TLT down, but let's just be objective here. And if the world doesn't end, look, the last time it broke over the 20 DMA was June 5th or something, and then it did not look back, and it held support until it broke it. And then when it broke it, it did not look back and got resisted at that line multiple times, and now it finally breaks it. I mean, that's got to be worth something, folks. So overstock, we initiated a swing position in yesterday because it did break that 20 DMA. I could easily seeing it retest and go down, and that'll be a significant percentage drop today. So even though this looks beautiful, it's very possible overstock will be down like 5% today, 1645, right? And try to hold that 20 DMA. But that's very noteworthy, and you can see it for yourself, right? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that that move yesterday could be very important from a swing to long-term perspective, okay? After all the insider buys and activist action going on over there, overstock. Drio with a little bit of news. I mean, I got 5 minutes. I got to start booking it. Drio, really good news. And also today is Investor Day at 11 a.m. I believe it's at 11 a.m. Let me just check. 11 a.m. It's being webcast. It's also in person in New York. All right. So in any case, new research shows 36% reduction in 30-day hospital readmission rate. That's big. They're saving insurance companies a lot of money here. And this is data coming out with their partner Sanofi. This has been like a little bit scary slash concerning because they are being impacted by the Israel. We can see here since the Israel war, this closed at 319. All this action here. The company has not put out a statement yet. Wait a second. Is Erez in New York? How would he get there? I think the flights are. I don't know if there's flights outgoing from Tel Aviv to New York. I'm not sure. Okay, but in any case, you could see this has really been impacted by the war, and there has not been a press release. A lot of Israeli companies have put press releases out that our operations have not been, impacted. They haven't. Okay, I don't know why. I didn't ask them. Maybe I should have pushed them. I just don't, really have a big stake. I have a small stake in my retirement account, so it's just not. And so, I don't really have a huge incentive to be pushing them and contacting them because this used to be my largest position. Now it's just like a one of many. But in any case, this is nice news, and we grabbed a little bit here in pre-market for the day, and we'll see. But yeah, that's really good news. I wish they would also put out a press release saying, well, maybe maybe their operations are impacted. I don't know. Maybe that's why they haven't put a press release out. I'm not sure. But today, I'm sure they'll cover it on the 11 a.m. webcast. Maybe they'll talk about the war, and that'll be important. If they say our operations have not been impacted, everything's okay, maybe you can see this whole thing reverse and make a move towards the 20 DMA, maybe even today, towards $3. So some good news out of Drio this morning with the possibility of more good news at 11 a.m. I think keep that high on your watch list, okay? Peloton with a little bit of news. They're moving into Austria. This is another one where it's beautifully been holding the 20 DMA. I'm running out of time. I got to start ending the shows at 9:15 because we got to prepare for our own day here on what we're going to trade and everything. Okay. But Peloton is going to be something kind of, noteworthy too if it continues holding a 20 DMA. Again, I get this catalyst of Austria, but today, on a day like today with TLT crashing, I'm not like so moved to say I want to jump. Blink with some news. Miami, city of Miami is going to be using their chargers. Again, market backdrop, I'm not so moved to jump on it. All right. I am moved to continue trading Geo, SWBI, and PAL for the reasons you know. Okay. And Axon, I don't really have time to get into it. This is another war stock. Okay. They do tasers. They do body cameras. So obviously, if there's riots and unrest, that's good for Axon. But the other thing is they're in the ETFs of all the defense stocks. This is crazy. When there's like a war breaks out overseas, even if there's nothing domestically going on, historically, Axon goes up with it because they're in every single defense ETF in large size. Okay, very weird. They got two passable catalysts to move them. Man, it's 9:15. All right. Top picks for today. Look at I gotta also give some deference to the pre-market price action. Listen, at night I go on social media. I talk to friends and family. I see what people are talking about. I have to say, I think gun stocks, you can swing these, and I think a lot of these gun stocks might even double from here. Now you have also pre-market action in PAL. I got to put PAL in the top 5 today. I got to put Drio in the top 5 today. Okay. I guess we're going to put Dollar Tree and Cyber in the top 5 today. And we'll reorder these in a second. Then Geo and SWBI, we're going to put up here. Now let's see how this looks. See if we can come up with something. All right. I got to keep my eye on gold and VIX also. All right. So Drio, PAL. So PAL broke like all kinds of resistance. Honestly, I really believe, and I've seen comments, it's seeing it all the time. Everybody's talking about getting guns, man. Not just Jewish people, all right? Not just Israelis living in America. We're talking about non-Jewish people all over the country. We're talking about people in Texas. We're talking about all the border states. I mean, they saw what Hamas did, and they are worried. They're not saying that's their problem, not ours. They're saying that this is also our problem. Everyone's saying that. Everyone's worried about the open border. Everyone's worried about Hamas coming into the states. And people are basically arming up for war in this country. I'm not kidding you. I don't want to be alarmist, but it's happening. All right. Ammunition and guns are flying off the shelf all over this country in unprecedented rates. All right. This is absolutely true what I'm telling you right now. And I don't need the hard data to know it. It's obvious to infer it from what people are talking about. Okay. So I think what you're going to see is stocks like SWBI. Now I'm really late. SWBI, PAL, these gun stocks. Where's the other one? RGR. I think these have a lot more room, man. I think you're going to see Smith & Wesson break out in a swing perspective, head over to $20+. I think you're going to see PAL continue making moves and head, who knows? Let's look at the chart. Fill this gap, maybe. Break this, head to $3, maybe much higher in a swing time frame. So when I see pre-market price action like this and there's interest, continued follow through, I got to make it a top 5 pick for today. All right. So, Geo is pulling back a little bit. Overstock, Peloton, Arab. All right. I got to put Lockheed Martin maybe as a reversal. Let's put this in the top 5 to monitor as well. All right, it's 9:17. I just got to order these now. All right, let's think about it. This is important. This is an important moment. Somehow, this thing I do at the very end works. All right, because like 90% of the time, yesterday we did it again. It was USO. Was initially USO was the number 1 pick, and we're going through it. I'm like, nah, let's change it to Geo. All right, based on the news and pre-market action, and that ended up working great. Look what Geo did yesterday. Now Geo's dropping right here in pre-market. So let's see. This is a very important moment trying to figure out what's the number 1 and what are the top 5. All right, this may be a little bit of a hunch, and you got to get a good fill. At the least, I want to move Cyber ahead of Dollar Tree here because of they have the added war tailwind. Okay, this is cyber defense. You can think of it that way, right? So at the least, we'll do that. See, the thing is with like PAL and Drio, they're not great for options. So I'm gonna put maybe PAL and Drio up here in the top 2. But as far as options, I think we're gonna focus on Cyber, Dollar Tree, and maybe Lockheed Martin. There's strong support, by the way, on Lockheed 430 and 432. I don't know if I covered that. Strong support at 430 and 432. Already bouncing back this morning. So something we'll be looking at today. But I gotta respect this holding its big gains yesterday on decent volume this morning. And what I explained about everyone arming up, everyone who has a gun, arming up right now, loading up on much ammunition as they can get. And it's Ammo Inc. I know that sounds scary, but it's true. So I got to do this. I know, okay, I know it sounds crazy after a huge day for PAL, but I think I got to go ammo, man. I got to go PAL. I got to go Drio common shares, I think only. And then maybe options on Cyber, Dollar Tree, maybe Lockheed Martin. And these other ones I love too, right? For more swings, Geo, SWBI, RGR, etc. All right. Hope that helped, guys. We'll see you this afternoon. Take care.